You are watching On Demand. Please do not try to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged. Hello and welcome to your Thursday Loose Women alongside me, Kay Adams. It's Sinetra Sarkar, Linda Robson and Jane Moore. Coming up, we'll be talking about the controversial documentary which aired on television this week, Breastfeeding My Boyfriend, and asking, does it sexualise breastfeeding? And as one group of mums called for teen-ternity leave, that's like maternity leave, but during the often troubled teenage years, should all parents be given paid leave to look after their teens? And we have got a bona fide Hollywood star joining us today. We will be chatting to Kumail Nanjiani about his latest blockbuster film, starring alongside Angelina Jolie and the bodyguards Richard Madden. Linda went to see it last night and you gave it the thumbs up, didn't you, Linda?
Thumbs up, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm not normally a Marvel fan, but I did really enjoy it. I didn't understand some of it, but I did enjoy it.
You don't tell him that, OK?
No.
No, don't tell him that, thanks. Well, today, though, we're starting with the story of the very public breakdown of the actor Ioan Gruffudd's marriage. He posted a picture of himself and his new girlfriend. There you go, that's Bianca Wallace on Instagram. And the caption is, "Thank you for making me smile again." So this resulted in a whole series of tweets from his ex-wife, Alice Evans, including one where she accused him of having an affair, which he denies. And it's got pretty messy in public. And she's clearly really, really hurt. Jane, I mean, not everyone's going to have the profile of these guys, but I guess it's that old thing. Do you go out and roar at the world and tell everyone, you know, how bad you feel, or do you keep it in?
I mean, it depends on your personality, I suppose. I mean, my instinct, if it's me, anything like that, or anything that I feel is out of my control happens to me, I'm like, contain, contain, contain. And sometimes I won't even tell my closest friends until I feel that I've got a measure of it myself and how I want to present it to, you know, the wider circle or whatever. So I'm very kind of, and would never do something that she has done, but I look at her also and I have a sneaking admiration because I feel that sometimes as women, you know, it is very much the thing that you go away quietly, you don't air your dirty linen in public, etc., etc. And I look at it and I think, oh, yeah, you're not going quietly. You're not. And I have a certain admiration for that on one level. But then, of course, I think about when there are kids involved and the kind of repercussions of it. But, yeah, I mean, I think it very much depends on the personality that you have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you. I go into myself. What do you do, Sinead?
No, I think I would share with my inner circle, but I would also know, because I think you do need friends at times like this to help you and counsel you. And I've had friends in the past who've helped me from wanting to, like, say things I didn't mean when I've wanted to lash out at someone who's hurt me. But I also feel like I would want to say to them, let's step this out and think 5 years down the line. Would you want to look back and think you're remembered for being that person who did this? Aren't you better than that? Aren't you better than someone who wants to go and say, look at how hurt I am, rather than saying, look at how strong I am? I don't know. I feel...
Well, that's interesting. Listen to this. This is one of the tweets that Alice Evans has put out. And so this is on Twitter. So this is just to whoever happens to be reading it, you know, across the world. Thank you so much for allowing me to talk and work this all out with you. Ioan and I have been together for 22 years. Not a day has gone by without talking to each other. What I found out today ripped my heart out. Twitter has allowed me to get a sense of what is wrong and what is right. I know a lot of you felt that I was embarrassing myself by discussing it publicly, but try to understand how much that has helped me, as did all of you with all of your amazing thoughts. I'll try to stay away hereforth unless something even...
And a lot of experts say, don't they, that actually showing vulnerability is a strength. Because I think, you know, I'm very like that. I always think if I show vulnerability, it's a weakness. And I think I've had to learn over the years that maybe it's not a weakness. You know, that was just my perception. And she's very much showing her vulnerability.
But it's about channeling your vulnerability, isn't it? And if you find the right support tools to make you feel like you can do it. Like, I had a friend who said to me, here's a notebook, write down everything you want to write, tweet, phone, email,
all the anger,
put it
all
all in here, and then one day, if you want to, give him the whole book. And by the time you get to the end of that book, you don't want to give it to anyone because you've got it out of your system and your vulnerabilities all in your... I have, and it worked years ago. It was before social media existed, but it really helped me. And
well, that's the key, social media, isn't it?
Totally,
well?
yeah.
Yeah, I think I understand why she did it, because by saying that she's made him smile again, I don't know if they're having affairs or whatever, I don't know any of that.
Well, they're together. She's now with this
yeah,
new
but by saying that she's made him smile again, made it look like his ex-wife has made him look miserable for the last, I don't know how many years or whatever. So I think that's really sad. But when this has happened to me, I just tend to remove myself from the situation. So I'll just go away and think about it. So I'll go away. If work comes in and says, do you want to go away for a couple of weeks? And I'll think, yeah, I'll go away, and then I'll work it out in my head what I want to do when I get back, and that. So I just remove myself.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
So you give yourself that kind of distance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting, you know, I mean, if you had a friend who was in this situation, and we've all either been in that situation ourselves or had a friend in that situation, and you're maybe privately thinking, you really need to kind of calm down and take stock here. What do? Do you let them rage at the world, or do you pull them aside?
No, if you're a good friend, you'll say what you would want somebody to say to you, which is don't do what you might regret. Or if you do it, own it and know this is going to be out there forever. That's how I would frame it.
So don't do it in public, but then take them along to a really good lawyer.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? Because this is a tabloid journalist dream. I mean, the News of the World 10 years ago would have paid 100 grand for this story. But, I mean, now that Twitter and social media is being used as a kind of unofficial therapist for people, it's all out there. I mean, you know, just have it. And that's the danger, because actually you think you're taking control of the situation, but once you've put all of that really personal stuff out there...
It never goes back in the box.
You have no control whatsoever because it is out there and people will feed on it. But... anyway, it's her choice. It's everyone's choice. On the subject of relationships, viewers were left shocked by a controversial Channel 4 documentary called Breastfeeding My Boyfriend, which kind of sums it up, doesn't it? It aired earlier this week. We can't actually show you a clip because it's just a bit too much for lunchtime. But we are going to watch one now, and you're probably going to get an idea of it.
I'm not looking forward to this at all.
No, you'll probably get an idea of it from Maria.
Breastfeeding someone releases the happy hormone oxytocin for you and them. So some people find it the perfect way to unwind.
Typically, on any given day, Tip will breastfeed 3 to 5 times a day, generally before work, after work, before bed, when we wake up. Sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes it is a challenge to find the time to breastfeed, although we will make the time because it is important, not just physically, but emotionally. It is important to us.
Well, there you go. So you can probably guess what you saw there. I mean, obviously, that was a couple just sitting, chatting, but earlier that we did see that she was naked. And, I mean, it was like a 28-year-old baby breastfeeding. I mean, that was kind of it, wasn't it?
This is wrong on so many levels.
I'm sure Little Britain did this, didn't they?
Totally. This is like... how much content do they have to make a full television programme about this, for starters? It makes me feel uncomfortable. I didn't know this was a thing. I still don't believe it's a thing. It feels very niche.
I didn't know you could breastfeed if you haven't just had a baby. I didn't know that your milk would come through.
We have been desperately Googling this this morning, to be honest, thinking, well, can you do that? I mean, one of the real criticisms that has come forward is that for women who are breastfeeding babies, that they think that stuff like this might potentially make it even more awkward because, you know, lots of people have different opinions about breastfeeding, particularly in public, and there's sometimes a stigma, perceived stigma around breastfeeding. I would hope that's gone. And there is a feeling that this is just going to sexualise breastfeeding and mix the message.
That's nothing to do with feeding. I mean, he can go and order a takeaway if he's hungry. He's a fully grown adult. You know, it's nothing to do with feeding. That's probably what I take exception to, is the use of the term breastfeeding.
They're not on a desert island. They can buy food.
Do they do it when they go out, or do they just do it at home? Yeah, we're trying to qualify this man needs feeding.
But it's a sexual fetish.
Yeah, you're right.
By any other name, isn't it, really?
And how does he verbalise the first time he meets this girl? How does he say to her, by the way, there's something I think you should know? I mean, who starts this sort of relationship?
I mean,
with someone knowing that that's what
you
they
know,
want to do?
different strokes for different folks. If that's what they're into, between consenting adults, you know, fill your boots. But it is, I agree with you, Jane, it's a sexual fetish, and I think it would be better presented as a sexual fetish. And I have to say, listening to the voiceover there, I think Channel 4 as being disingenuous here because they're talking about nutrients, etc. I mean, it's like you say, go and get a Big Mac and chips, mate, if you're really hungry, because this is nothing.
I can't believe we're talking about, like, you might be going without
I know. I mean, please.
in this topic.
But do you know that kind of tongue-in-cheek voiceover? But with that very sort of low, serious voice. I mean, please.
We had breast milk ice cream once. It tasted blooming delicious.
Did you?
Yeah.
I
have to say,
I had to drink my own at airport security once because, you know, you weren't able to take... Like, it's not very nice.
I say all credit to Channel 4 because actually, finding people that practice this behaviour is one thing. Getting them to do it on television...
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. We did go to Channel 4 for comment and they said this observational documentary breaks down the taboo surrounding the intimate act of adult breastfeeding. They call it breastfeeding. We don't think they should. It featured individuals who openly and honestly talked about their personal experiences of that as an integral part of their relationships and lives. And, you know, as I say, consenting adults, crack on. Still to come, as celebs like Jennifer Garner post their hair story, reflecting some of the interesting hairstyles from their past, we will be sharing our own. I wish we weren't.
I know.
And after the break, Oscar nominee Kumail Nanjiani on his latest Hollywood superhero film alongside the likes of Angelina Jolie, how comedy is his real-life superpower and how a health scare cemented his relationship with his wife. We'll see you after this. Welcome back. Still to come, should parents get teenternity leave? That's paid leave to look after their teens, and it's something that 1 in 5 adults suffer with, but the average person takes 10 years to seek help for it, even though it can lead to dementia. We're going to be talking about hearing loss. I'll be sharing my own personal experience of that. And don't worry, Linda hasn't done a runner. She's actually off getting her hearing test done at the moment. She'll be back by the time I have told you all about competition time and a double prize package not to be missed. It includes a hotel on wheels and a load of cash. Shan Welby has all the important details for you to enter.
Welcome back to my camper van adventures. Now, this week, I'm using it to find some of the UK's spookiest locations. This camper van is just one part of our incredible prize package, which is worth over £105,000. This Volkswagen Transporter T30 is decked out beautifully to help you feel right at home wherever and whenever the road takes you. The road has taken me to the ghost village of Tyneham. I've been told that a lot of paranormal activity has actually been recorded here. Now, a lot of those rumours are fuelled by this thing, this telephone box here. Now, locals claim they've heard the telephone ringing, even though it's not connected. Oh God. Oh, sorry, it's my phone. Hello? Yeah? Oh, yeah, I'll tell them. Also, we're throwing in £30,000 of tax-free cash for you to spend on whatever you like. For your chance to win, text the word prize to 81119. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 781119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to DY43 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 12th of November at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Now, it was a dream come true when actor and comedian Kumail Nanjiani landed a role in the new Marvel film, Eternals.
I think we must learn from our mistakes and do better, sir. You must not give up hope.
Oh, no, you didn't. Okay, new rule, no more possessing people's valets.
Where is your sense of humor, Kingo?
I'm sorry, sir.
Don't apologize, it's not your fault. You are not a god. You know that, right?
How ironic. Kingo, the movie star.
I've directed some things, too.
Well, it looks set to be an absolute triumph. I mean, Linda's given it the thumbs up. What more can any film want? Kumail, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, not at all. I mean, I blithely said at the beginning it was a dream come true. Was it a dream come true, Kumail?
It was absolutely a dream come true. I mean, I never thought I'd get to play a superhero, let alone a superhero in a Marvel movie with this cast and this director.
So you didn't, as a little boy, grow up dreaming of being a superhero?
Yeah, I mean, I dreamed of being a superhero. I didn't think it would come true. I mean, it's not true. I understand I am not a superhero in real life. Just play one in the movies. But that's as close as I'm going to get.
I am so excited. I have waited all my life to see a South Asian superhero. I mean, growing up, it just felt so impossible. And now you've got there. How do you feel like there's a lot of pressure, I suppose, you feel from all of us looking to see how the first South Asian superhero works. But how did you particularly feel with the Bollywood dancing?
Well, the first thing you said is interesting because you do feel a lot of pressure because there hasn't been a South Asian superhero. But, that pressure, you can't really put it on yourself because I can only play one character, right? I mean, there are over 1 billion people that look like us in the world. So I just try and do the best job I can. And I hope that there are more people after me so that the pressure on all of us is a little bit lighter. I grew up watching Bollywood movies. I love Bollywood dance sequences. So when Chloe said, you have to do a Bollywood dance sequence, I said no, because I felt like it was too much pressure. And she then said, okay, we'll just do a Bollywood action scene. I said, great. And then I got to shoot and she was like, I lied. We are doing a Bollywood dance sequence. And then I took 4 months of classes because I wanted to get it right because I love those movies. I love those sequences. And if I don't get it right, a lot of people in the world are going to know.
This is it. Well done.
So, I mean, obviously, you've been in the business yourself for a while now, but, there is a difference between just walking on the set of such a massive franchise as this and how did it feel, when you sort of see, oh, my word, there's Angelina Jolie? That's my first question. And also, there's quite a lot of Brits on this film as well, isn't there?
Yeah, Gemma Chan, Richard Madden, who are both like amazing, fantastic actors. And I was a huge fan of theirs going in. And about Angelina Jolie, I was a little scared to meet her. Obviously, she's a legend. She's an icon, massive movie star. There she is, right? Look at my face. You can tell it hasn't hit me yet. Look at the face I'm making and the face they're making. They know how to have their picture taken, and I know who I'm standing next to.
So it's the 25th... It's the 25th Marvel film. Now, I've never been really a fan of the Marvel films, although my family have. My husband and my children are. So I went along with them to see the film. And even if you've never seen a Marvel film before, it was a really enjoyable film. And I have to say, your light-hearted comedy in it was absolutely fantastic. It was so funny because it cheered me up, made me laugh quite a lot of the time. And you also spent a year getting ready for it. You found out a year ago that you were playing this part, didn't you?
Yeah, I found out a year before I started shooting. Thank you, by the way, for the kind words. I'm glad you enjoyed it, even though you haven't seen a lot of the other movies. Yeah, and so I had to keep this secret for a year. It wasn't hard to keep because my wife believed me, but no one else would have believed me anyway, so it was fine. And I liked having a little secret. And I gotta say, I'm very interested in this haunted phone booth. I don't know how we're not continuing to talk about that instead of this. There's a haunted phone booth? I'm going to enter this contest.
You have been concentrating. Is that your superpower? Or do you have another superpower?
I mean, I love haunted stuff. No, so as soon as I heard haunted phone booth, I was like, wait, I don't really want to talk about Eternals anymore. I want to know who's in that phone booth.
I mean, Linda was saying that she really enjoyed your humour in the film. I read somewhere that maybe growing up you saw humour as your own superpower, Kumail's superpower.
Yeah, I was a very, very shy, very, very quiet kid. Wasn't good at sports, wasn't really cool, nothing like that. So for me, I think I didn't realize, that I could be funny until pretty late. I think I was probably in college when I was like, oh, I can be funny. That's the thing. That's my thing. I'm not good at sport. I tried to be good at cricket for a very long time, and it just wasn't going to happen. And so, yeah, realizing that I could make people laugh just felt like I just was like, okay, that's one thing I am. I'm funny.
And that's how you met your wife, Emily, isn't it? Because before you obviously became the actor that you are now, you were doing a bit of stand-up as a side to your normal job, and she was in the audience. Is that right?
Yeah, she heckled me. I mentioned, I grew up in Pakistan, and she woohooed, and she was this white girl with purple hair. And I was like, you're not from Pakistan. We would have noticed you. There she is. Oh, God, look at how beautiful she is. Look at me. Even that, it's the same face I make next to Angie and Selma. Like, I can't believe I'm here.
And also, there's a surprise appearance at the end of the film, isn't there, from somebody that we know really well over here.
Really?
Harry Styles.
Is that a spoiler?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I think people know he's in it.
Oh, OK.
Oh, do they? Oh, that's good.
Phew.
Just to dig you out of that hole.
OK, have you got Kit Harington's phone number for me?
I just wanted to ask you. I just wanted to ask you about Emily, because obviously being in Hollywood is a big pressure on relationships. And is there a sort of a comfort in having met each other when you were just kind of in an ordinary job, you know, before you became as famous as you are now?
I mean, yeah, we've been together 15 years. We've been married 14 years. You know, she just married a stand-up comedian, an open mic stand-up comedian. She did not marry someone who's in the MCU. No, I can't believe it when I say it out loud. So, yeah, it's been wonderful that we get to go through this thing together, you know. And she's a writer too, so she's in the industry, but in a sort of a different kind of way. So it's good. She's here with me right now. You know, she can work from anywhere. When we shot in London for 6 months, she was with me the entire time. So it's been absolutely wonderful having her. And she's the one. You know, it hasn't hit me yet. We were sitting on my couch last week, and she was like, we went to see the first Iron Man movie together opening weekend, and now you're a superhero in the MCU. And I'm like, it hasn't hit me yet.
It's a fabulous story, and I know your own story was made into a movie, but maybe we can talk about that another time, Kumail. Congratulations on the film. Linda doesn't like many things, I have to tell you, so it's the highest accolade that you can possibly have.
Thank you, and I'll cross my fingers I get to visit the haunted phone booth.
Yeah.
Kumail Nanjiani. Still to come, one group of mums are calling for paid leave for parents to care for their kids during the often troubled teen years. So should all parents get teen-ternity leave? And do we talk enough about the struggles of parenting a teenager? And here's a dilemma for you. What would you do if you moved in with a brand new partner, you're still in that exciting honeymoon phase, and then you find out they only shower once a fortnight? More on that after this. Welcome back to your Thursday Loose Women alongside me, Kay Adams. It's Sunetra Sarkar, Jane Moore and Linda Robson. Coming up, as celebrities like Jennifer Garner share their horrible hair stories, that's the history of their hairstyles, we'll be sharing our own... Who is that? Is that Jennifer Garner?
With the ears.
Oh, wow. We're going to be sharing our own hair stories. Not all of them are horrible. Here's a little taste. Oh,
That's you!
I think I've still got that shirt somewhere, actually. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, more of that to come. Now, a group of mums are calling for parents to be given paid leave from work, like maternity leave, but during the often troubled teenage years. So it's been called a teen-ternity leave. What do you think, Jane?
How is that going to work, though? I mean, it's not like a blanket thing that everybody needs to have. You know, maternity, if you're having a baby, then that makes sense. But not everybody has a problem with teenagers, or they might have teenagers that occasionally have a bad day. So having a blanket policy, for me, wouldn't work. And particularly, say you run a small business and your receptionist is constantly ringing in going, oh, my teenager's having a bad day, so I'm going to stay at home. Yeah. That's going to have a very short shelf life for you as a boss. But, you know, there are things in place. If somebody has a real issue with one of their children, you know, say it's a really serious mental health issue, you have compassionate leave in place. You know, there's very few bosses that you wouldn't be able to go to and say...
teens do need that, you know, because we do tend to, you know, when you have kids first, it's like, oh, once they go to school, I get a bit of breathing space. And then once they go to secondary school, then I really can get my life back because they're much more independent and they're getting on with their own lives, and so I've got a bit more freedom. Maybe they do need us more. Maybe they need that support.
No, I'm not saying that. Listen, I think that you know, being a parent to a teenager is just as difficult, if not more so, than a baby. But I think in the workplace, you're setting yourself up for a bit of a fall if you suddenly say, right, everybody's going to get time off. It's like, when are you actually going to be at work here?
Yeah.
You know, maternity leave, then what, toddler leave, then, you know, tweenie leave, and then teen leave.
I get what you're saying. I suppose the one thing about this that I do like is that it starts more of a conversation about parenting teenagers.
Yeah.
Because we talk a lot about parenting babies, don't we? And toddlers and sort of up to 8. And then we just don't talk about it that much.
And also what's really tricky is our teenagers are going through very different things than we did as teenagers. So I don't always know the answers to some of the problems that they're going through, because they're such different, like the obstacles are so different, especially with, I mean, we bring up social media so much, but it really is got so much responsibility behind a lot of the anxieties our kids are going through, whether it's people posting things about each other or whether it's even the gaming world. You know, we didn't have these same issues. So I do struggle sometimes when any of the kids have problems that I don't even have friends who experienced that same issue when they were teenagers. So I think we have got it harder.
Well, I would have needed about 4 years off for my maternity leave, because Lauren was a wild child for quite a few years of that. I'd say from sort of 15, 16 to 20, 21. She was drinking quite a lot.
How did you deal with
She
that?
had bulimia. I just had to be there for her, really. I mean, she had bulimia, so I took her to the doctors to find out about the bulimia. I took her because she was drinking too much as well, because they were binge drinking in those days as well. And then I found out when they're out, it's so expensive, the alcohol. That's why they drink at home, because they couldn't afford to drink when they was going out and everything. So I had loads and loads of, and she'd have parties in the house. If I was away, I'd come in and my feet would stick to the floor, and, you know, like, it was... So she was wild for quite a long time. She's come out the other side now. She's got 2 lovely girls and everything.
And
and then I had a few...
Watching and smiling.
Yeah, she is. But then I had a few years with Louis as well. He was... went off the rails a little bit for a while, but he's back on track again now. I just think it's part of growing up, you know, really.
I think what you say, though, just being there, it is kind of almost all you can do, isn't it? And I think that's the big difference that I've found, you know, from my kids now, sort of 14 and 19, and when they were wee, is that when they were small, I kind of felt I could fix almost everything.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was incredibly stressful at times, and all the juggling and the tantrums or whatever else you might talk about with younger children. But at the end of the day, you could say, right, you come here and you sit there for an hour, and you know, you could do that. You can't do that with a 16-year-old who's out.
There's a sense of achievement, isn't there? Because you know you've solved that.
Yeah, you sorted it.
We've got them to sleep. It's happened, you know. Whereas when they're in those teen years, you don't actually know the end of the story sometimes, and they don't always want to share everything. You know, it's
they
all
also
fine.
sometimes don't want you hanging around.
Totally.
Like,
it's all fine and well saying you want to say to your boss, can I take some time out to help my team? But you've also got to have the time to have the relationship with the team to tell you something's wrong, which takes a bit of time as well. So
I'd be up till 1 o'clock in the morning waiting for them to come home, you know, like I couldn't relax and couldn't go to bed until they were actually in the house.
Yeah. But I really take your point, Sinetra, that now, you know, obviously with little kids, it's the usual things, isn't it? Things don't really change over the years, but it has changed. And if you can't relate, I mean, I know with my kids, the language, I mean, anxiety is talked about very openly and commonly. That was never talked about when I was a teenager. Not in relation to children. Self-harming. Eating disorders. I mean, I make myself sound 112, but and I'm sure it was happening, but it just wasn't routinely discussed.
But it wasn't the statistics have shot up. So yes, I think it was there when we were young, but you had to look quite hard for it. Now you don't have to. I think it you know, they are saying it's an epidemic among young people. Now, why that is, I mean, I'm sure there's social media in there somewhere. Which, of course, we didn't have to deal with.
I think it is good if we talk more about the teenage years, because, as I say, on social media, you get lots of kind of mummy bloggers, and it's all about the little ones. It's kind of like, you wait, but then you've also got to respect their privacy, so you don't want to get into the details, unless your name, of course, is Linda Robson, in which case you don't really care. Do you want some dirty talk, Linda?
Yeah, please.
Come on, we've got some dirty talk for you now. Not what you think, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's a wee dilemma. After finally moving in with his girlfriend, one man has revealed that he discovered his girlfriend only showers once every 2 weeks. The boyfriend of 3 years says he loves his girlfriend, but her refusal to shower means he's sleeping on the couch to avoid the putrid smell. Oh, my, that's a terrible word, isn't it? She's not the only one. There's a Hollywood movement at the moment to wash less. I think Jake Gyllenhaal, Ashton Kutcher, I think they're doing it for eco... Well, they're doing it for eco reasons, I think. So what would you do, Linda? What's your sage advice in that situation?
I can't imagine being in a house with someone that showers or washes every 2 weeks. I can't help it. I mean, when we was young, we'd have a bath once a week. We'd have a tin bath in the front room, in front of the fire, once a week. But we'd still have a flannel and wash all the bits that you needed.
Top and tail.
Yeah, the 3 Fs. You'd have to wash.
Don't ask what don't.
Face, fingers, and
no,
somewhere else.
Stop it.
But, it's like I had a bath this morning before I came to work, and I'll have another bath when I get in. I don't like showering, I like bathing and that. My husband showers probably 2 or 3 times a day, drives me around the bed.
Really?
Really?
What are you doing that for?
Well, he'll have one in the morning before he goes to work, then he'll come back from it, and he works at COVID centres, so he'll come back and he'll have another shower, and then he'll have another shower.
From an environmental point of view, that's not good.
No.
And like the Hollywood mob, that's what they're saying. We don't need to wash as much as that. I mean...
We need to wash at least once a day. We need to bath or shower at least once a day.
But then you were saying when you were growing up, you had a bath once a week and you just got...
I probably smelt. No one probably can hear me.
And I'm going to be really controversial here. Women have certain issues that happen, you know, once a month, stuff like that. And if you're only washing once every 2 weeks in that space, I feel like we all know that we feel cleaner when we've had a shower.
Yeah.
So I think it's only... I mean... You can lessen your showers, but don't remove them from a week.
I mean, I think if you did the top and tailing thing that you're talking about when we used to have our once-a-week bath, you could probably get away with not having a shower for 2 weeks and people wouldn't notice. But when he talks about putrid smell... Putrid? That is... I mean, putrid means, you know, really nasty, rank smell. Yeah. So that is obviously... a big issue in their relationship, and he's sleeping on the sofa.
But they've been together 3 years, Jane. 3 years.
There's parts of your body like your feet that stink. If you've had shoes on all day, you take your shoes or your boots off.
I'd struggle with somebody
that's... cheese.
I'd be asking her if cheese. I'd be asking her if she was all right, to be honest. You know, I think... You know, you're probably not in an emotionally very good place if you're allowing yourself to get to a stage that, you know, you're smelling putrid.
Unless it's for ecological reasons.
Indeed. In which case you could smell just as rank as however you... You're saving the planet.
This show is turning into something else for me today.
I lost my sense of smell for 2 years, and now I'm so embarrassed. I think, was I smelling for 2 years? Anyway, you can tell... All right, thank you. In a few minutes, as it's revealed that the average person takes 10 years to seek help for hearing loss, why do we neglect our hearing? And celebrities like model Christy Turlington have been posting their hair stories on social media, so we thought we would jump on the bandwagon too. Why not? We're going to be sharing some of the weird and wonderful hairstyles from our youth. We'll see you after this. Welcome back. Lots more still to come. Jennifer Garner is among some celebrities who've been posting their hair stories on social... Which one is she? I don't know which one she is.
The little one in the middle.
All right, little one in the middle. So we thought we would dig through the archives and jump on the bandwagon too. Though I seem to be the only one who has been shamed so far with hairstyles that we sported as kids, so hopefully it won't just be me. Competition time, though, and a double prize package not to be missed. It's worth a whopping £105,000. Shan Welby's got all the details.
To celebrate the Halloween festivities, I've come to the deserted town of Tyneham, where local folklore states the whole place is haunted. Quite frightening, but it's the perfect place to tell you about our terrifyingly good prize package that you need to enter today. If you dare, I double dare you. Oh, jeez. Imagine winning this brand new camper van. You could take to the open roads, avoid the haunted ones though, whenever you want. This mobile hotel allows you to have adventures all year round. Where would you go? Well, that's the camper van, but where's the money, I hear you ask? Well, not to fear, because there's £30,000 of tax-free cash waiting for a winner. Get some decent double glazing with that. That is 2 beautiful prizes up for grabs. Get entering now. For your chance to win, text the word PRIZE to 81119. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 781119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to DY43 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 12th of November at 3 p.m. Good luck!
Now, it's something that 1 in 5 adults suffer with in the UK, me being one of them. I'm talking hearing loss, but it's still something that many people are embarrassed to talk about or to seek help for. And actually, stats show that people take an average of 10 years to seek help for it, which I have to say I can fully understand because, I mean, I find myself continually making jokes about it. You know, oh, I'm stone deaf, I'm deaf as opposed to me. But it's actually now getting to the point that it is a little bit embarrassing that I'm continually saying, what was that? Or, you know, sitting, watching a television programme thinking, is this just me that this is muffled for?
Is it just in one ear or both?
It is just one ear. But the thing that's... And I actually went for a test, another test this week. The man in boots, Socky Hall Street, Glasgow, was fabulous. Thank you very much. It was. Thanks, Sean. So I have got around to it and I'm going to address it. But I have noticed it's the one thing you're still allowed to joke about. Like, my kids just rip the mick out of me all the time. You know, mum's deaf as opposed, you know. And I sort of laugh along. And then eventually I say, look, can you just shut up? It's actually, yeah.
Is it one ear or two ears? Both ears?
It's that one.
Is it?
It's
Yeah.
that one.
It's normally one ear that you lose.
Do you think it's because of your job? Because you've spent years on live television and you've had earpieces in and all that?
Are we building up a lawsuit here? This is fabulous.
It's true, though, what you say.
Have you had an accident at work?
If you were losing your eyesight, people don't joke, do they?
About it.
And when I lost my voice, which was like for 18 months, people were like, oh, are you OK? Are you OK? But, yeah, we do joke about hearing.
Yeah, I mean, COVID, people losing their sense of smell and taste. You know, of course, people were sympathetic, as they should be. But, well, I mean, I suppose because it's so associated with age, isn't it? And we laugh at old age, and that's the thing.
Well, I've just been away for 3 weeks with Leslie Joseph, and she's a bit hard of hearing.
Right.
So in the end, she'd go, what'd you say? What'd you say? So I tell her what I said. In the end, I just got a newspaper, rolled it up, and I used to speak to her like a megaphone into her ear and that. I mean, it was a bit of a joke.
About it.
It wasn't, but she was laughing as well. She was laughing as well. Also, Pauline.
She was crying inside.
She wasn't crying inside. She was laughing. She was laughing. She's got a sense of humour.
Leslie, I feel your pain.
Oh, you know, but I feel like it is something that will creep up on you. When do you really start knowing that you're losing your hearing? I have got an appointment to get something checked because one of my ears isn't... When I'm laughing or really laughing, it sounds a little bit like something's going on. So I
might just need it syringed.
Maybe we see
or a bit of tinnitus.
I hope that I went, and I was hoping for a great big wad of wax. And
that's something that just comes. Well, I was at the theatre yesterday, and I was sitting quite far back, but close enough to be able to see the stage and hear everyone. And in the shouting scenes, everything was as clear as a bell. But then in some of the really intimate scenes, I remember thinking, is it just me or I can't hear this as well as I want to? And I think it is this here, so I'm a bit worried.
It is a horrible thing.
I will look into it because it's nothing to be ashamed of.
You did all do hearing tests.
Oh, yes, we did.
And I have the results here. Are you genuinely a little bit worried about it?
I am, actually, yeah.
Yeah, well, don't worry, because you're in the normal range, apparently.
Really?
Jane, are you worried about it?
No, I think I've got very good hearing.
It's normal. It's normal, apparently. Not good, it's normal.
How very damning.
Linda, who laughs at other people with hearing loss, are you worried about it?
No, not really. I can hear everything.
Yeah, you can. Yours is normal as well. It's only me. But...
And what was yours?
Well, no, mine's bad. I mean, I probably could have a hearing aid now, but lovely Sean, Socky Hall Street Boots said probably within the next year or so.
They're so small now, though, these days.
I'm just going to do it. I mean, I would rather hear, because... You know, around that, I don't know if you're aware of the statistic, in terms of increasing the risk of dementia by up to 5 times if people live with hearing loss over a long period of time, because you just sort of retreat.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I noticed that with both my parents, actually, who should have been wearing hearing aids and they didn't because they didn't like the connotations. And so they just tend to sit back and don't join in the conversation and people... You know, don't speak to them because, they can't hear you anyway. And you can just see...
Just become excluded.
All of that. So I'm not going to be excluded. I'm going to come in with my fancy Nancy hearing aids.
Good.
Now, celebrities have set social media alight as they've been posting pictures of their hair stories, the history of their hair. You get that? That's good. So, actress Jennifer Garner, we've shown you this about 74 million times.
Is she coming on the show or something? Is Linda going to say again, which one's Jennifer Garner?
We've got Chrissy Turlington, she's new. She's posted hers, so it is time to reveal some of hers. OK, right, I'm going first. Here's mine. Can we see it? Oh, what do you
look like a
think
boy.
of that?
You look like a boy.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my friend Judith. She'll be furious that we put that up, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see you smiling there. So you.
Oh, I went red there.
There's a lot
you
in
see
it.
that? I was copying my friend.
I'm
A bit of a flick. What do you think of that one,
Yeah,
Linda?
not someone there.
I don't look like a boy there, do
No,
I?
you don't. You look like a girl.
You
You look
look
younger
girl.
now than you did in them pictures.
Oh, come on then, let's see you. Let's see you. We get any of Linda?
There I am.
Oh.
Same hairstyle.
Which one are you?
I'm the one
with the
on this
fringe.
side. So that's
Yeah,
my sister Tina. The middle's Debbie. That side. What's that side?
You haven't changed at all.
The other side.
That side.
You do
That
look the
side.
same.
What's happening
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
hats? Are they
Well, my
halos?
mum dressed us up nicely, bonnets. That was my cousin's communion, my cousin Jackie's communion. So my mum used to dress the three of us all the same. That's
You
my
look
cousin
too
Breda.
cute.
So which
I am
one are you
quite
This
there?
isn't embarrassing.
You can see which one I am. This side.
Are you
this
white
time.
blouse or you dress?
No, I'm
You
the
sure
dress.
it's just
I'm
your
the dress.
hearing that you're worried
I'm the
about?
dress. I'm the dress. Can you hear me?
Stop doing that. I'm crying inside.
Oh, we've run out of time. I think we've run out of time.
No, Sinatra, don't you worry, love. We've got time for
There
you.
you are.
Oh, shame.
Look. You're in the red, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm in the blue.
Oh, you're in the blue. Oh, okay.
I did love a hairband.
So pretty.
I did love a hairband and a waistcoat, as you can see there.
Quite long here. There.
It's the longest it's ever been. Because then I went
there you
short shave. My sister's gonna die that that's been said on
I
TV.
really see you. You haven't changed.
There you are. No, you haven't. You
I
haven't
look like a
changed
boy
at all.
there.
That was cheeky.
Stop
There
it
you
now.
are.
That's quite enough.
Moody,
My
moody
mum.
teenager.
She'll be getting a stern phone call for these photographs, I'll tell you
Moody
that.
teenager.
It's interesting you got short hair there because now it's not fashionable for young girls to have short hair, is it?
Well, no, you're right, actually. It's not as fashionable.
They've all
It was Lady
long
Diana
hair.
phase. I just wanted to
Come
have
on,
a
Jane,
Lady
where's
Di
yours?
hair.
Absolutely.
Go on,
Come on then,
Jane.
Jane.
Come on, Jane.
Jane, what's Lady Di?
Here's my look. Now, can you? That is my natural hair colour. And look, do you see my white streak?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got a patch of.
You're like Vicky Davis.
I was a
Remember he had white
forceps
streak?
birth, and I think that the pigment got damaged, so I just had this white streak all my life.
Oh, wow.
Linda, I mean, she's great, isn't she? I look like a boy. You look like Dickie Davis.
No, he had a white streak in his hair, didn't he? He had all dark hair.
Yes,
and
hopefully that's the only similarity.
Yeah, thank you. Jane, you're very clever. You've managed only to supply us with one photograph. It's clearly been through, you know, all the kind of
plenty
approval
more.
with the stuff.
Yeah, you can tell she
Well,
knows this show well.
Where I have been thoroughly humiliated. Here we go again. There you go. You enjoyed that, Linda,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I did. I really
Yeah, you did. Nice. Glad it made you happy. That's it for today. Tomorrow it's our Halloween Heroes and Villains special. Just wait till you see what Linda, Jane and I will be wearing. I think I'll switch your costume, Linda. Also going to be talking to Corrie legend Simon Gregson live from the cobbles. And we're going to take a look at Colin and Linda's ghoulie ghost hunt. We'll see you then for a Freaky Friday.